Yeah, I think that stretch, like right before, they hit a tough three. We had them cross match on a guy that, for the most part we were willing to let shoot or shoot a contested shot. They hit that. We fouled on a three. A couple calls like went their way just at the rim. I didn't think we were disciplined enough where we put them at the line early. So that was really a deficit. And so we talked all week about things that we can control and things that we can't. So, I mean, personally for me, I was pretty confident in our group that we were going to still respond. And I think the rest of the way, I think we outscored them 43-25. I mean, just a really phenomenal defensive effort across the board. DJ Stewart had 9 rebounds, or 8 rebounds, I think, 7 defensive, for your backup point guard to come in and do that, clean up the glass. I mean, Brandon Slater off the bench had 9 rebounds. Nathan Knight had a huge night protecting the rim, multiple efforts. The first 2 games for us, like we put teams at the line a bunch, and they got out in transition a bunch. And so for us, again, talking about things that we can control, our effort, our communication, covering for each other, and then doing it with discipline was like a huge emphasis. And I think ultimately they shot 11 free throws coming into the game. I think teams were averaging like 22, and that's with a 1 for 2, that's a huge deal for the bulk of the game, right? So, 4 quarters keeping them under 30 points, a fourth quarter under 25. It was pretty awesome for us.
A lot of energy.
Yeah, really passionate kid, really mature for his age too. But at the same time, he's 19 years old. So I thought down the stretch for him, really in the fourth quarter, just played so much more assertive, so much more aggressive, so much more confident. There were times in the first 3 quarters really where, turning down open shots and then coming down and shooting ones that, necessarily weren't open or early in the clock. And just, I talked to him in the timeout. Not that I'm the one that should get credit for it because he's the one that actually went out and did it and executed it, but he just played so much more assertively. Shot it when he was open, drove it when he wasn't, made a couple really, really high-level passes in traffic to guys. Stewart hit the 3 on the one, that was just phenomenal. And then defensively, he was just so locked in. I thought just, a lot of times we put him on guys that screen a bunch, and we're switching, so he's going on to primary ball handlers, primary scorers, and to take them out of the game. But I mean, obviously, his steal and 1 dunk, was a big time momentum swing for us. And then obviously Shaq's 3 going into the fourth quarter just felt like that's those 2 plays and those were in the last 2.5 minutes, but both really off really good defensive stops for us. 1 steal, and then I think we forced a really tough contested 2, rebounded, and just ran our last 2 for 1 and got a look out of it. Yeah, I mean I've said it in multiple interviews, his assertiveness, his aggressiveness as a scorer has come so far in the last 3-4 months, just building in all the way back to summer league. Through the fall, through our training camp, and obviously through the first 3 games. And for him, as teams recognize that, it's just going to open up the game even more for him for what he really does best, and that's passing and playmaking. So he hit a big time pull-up 2, late in the fourth. They had I think they had just hit a 3, a big time shot that, last year, maybe he doesn't shoot it. He just kind of stays on it. But he walked right into it. He knew what he wanted, got to his spot, knocked it down to his credit. And then obviously him and Jordan at the end of the game, just in the small middle pick and roll, really executed well versus their switching. A phenomenal job by those 2 guys, executing our coverage solutions versus switching. I mean, 2 unbelievable passes to Jordan in the seam for a finish and then a kick out 3. He was great from start to finish. Obviously he goes 5 for 9 from 3, and he's feeling it, some off the dribble stuff when they're trying to go under or they're, bottled up on screens or switching softly. That again, much like his pull up, he wasn't necessarily looking for that a year ago, and now he's walking into it with confidence. It was awesome. Yeah, I wish I could swear, but it was awesome. fans were great. Like our guys felt it. They, obviously they're the ones making the plays to get the reaction, but they were a huge part on that end of the third quarter run, rolling into the fourth quarter, and then obviously like those last 3 or 4 minutes, carrying the group, carrying us. Obviously a big difference between that and playing on the road the first couple games. So that was kind of our goal, like give them something to come back on Sunday for.